Welcome back. Today we're here to talk about Israel. And when we left you yesterday, we were talking about Jacob. Now, Jacob had deceived his brother and needed to flee. And so he was heading north to his uncle Laban to get out of his brother's sight for a while and probably find a wife. That was the hope. And so he leaves and he gets one day out and he lays down and he goes to sleep. And that night he's visited with a vision of two ladders ascending to heaven. And these ladders have angels going up and down them, praising the Lord, singing, playing music. And then it stops and the Lord speaks out above that and reaffirms the covenant that he had with Abraham and Isaac and lays that upon Jacob. And so Jacob now knows he is truly the inheritor of the blessing and that he is going to be the inheritor of the land and the father of a great nation. And he wakes up the next morning and he goes on and he heads north and he does get a wife. In fact, he comes back with 20 years later with 4 wives and 11 children, plus flocks and herds and all kinds of animals. And he comes back and he's getting close and he knows that he's going to meet his brother and he's very worried. And so he's concerned that something would happen to the wives and the children. And so he kind of sets everybody apart and he stays to pray to the Lord about this on his own. And he's praying and then he lays down to sleep, and in his sleep a man comes and he fights with that man and wrestles with him all night. And in the end, his hip is taken out of joint basically by this man who he does finally determine is actually the Lord wrestling with him. And when they're done, he's given a further blessing and told that his name would become Israel, because he had struggled with the Lord. And so the Lord leaves him, and Jacob goes on, and he has a good reunion with his brother, and he does become the father of the nation. In fact, under his last act, the Lord moves he and his family into Egypt, which becomes an incubator for Israel and allows them to grow into a nation so that the Lord can save them and bring them out of Egypt.